rushing to get here. It's great that they changed the time, but like today, maybe I will lower it a little bit. Shivchei Rabbeinu Nachman, in praise of Rabbi Nachman. My approach to life is that I like all of the tzaddikim. They're like stars in the sky. I'm going to chant, and I can choose one more than the others. And yet, what happens is, the way I'm doing it is like I'm not saying you're all great, and therefore I don't want a connection with any of you. I want a connection with each and every one of you. I want to have the personal connection. I want to meet you. I want to receive you into my soul. I want to be connected to you for eternity. These are great souls we're talking about. Rabbi Nachman is one of them. Again, because there's many and he's one of many, but it doesn't take away from the greatness. So I hold this position of that I want all of them. As history kind of proceeded and descended, things broke apart. The Ari's Torah, for instance, there was a Shrias HaKelim, there was a breaking of the vessels. The Rashash, Rav Sar Shalom Sharabi, took the Chochmah aspect of the Ari. The Ramchal took the Bina aspect. Whatever, I'm not explaining it, but I'm just saying that there's a spherotic thing here, that the Ari is like Keter. The Ari is like a Keter of an entire system of thought, and he himself was the Malchut of that which preceded him. Nobody is existing in isolation, in isolation from everybody who came before him. So the Ari is like the Keter, and there's 4 rivers that come out of the Keter, 4 rivers that come out of Eden. The Chochmah level of the Ari, the Bina level, the Tiferet level, and the Malchut. The Chochmah level, as I said, is Rav Sar Shalom Sharabi from Yemen. The Bina level is the explanation of the Ari system in terms of history. In terms of how history works, it's called Hanhagot. The Ramchal uses the word Hanhagot. Hashem is manhig the world. He has modes of providence that he uses to interact with us. Tiferet is also history. It's the Gaon of Vilna. He's also connected to time. He's connected to how to utilize the system of the Ari to make things happen within time, to forge history forward. And the Baal Shem Tov, being Malchut, which is the internal nefesh of each one of us, is the internalization of the system of the Ari, and to know that it's not just something out there, and it's not just something also that just happens in history, it's each one of us, our personal lives. The Baal Shem Tov revealed the personal dimension of the Ari's teachings. And within the Baal Shem Tov's teachings, we have the great master Rabbi Nachman. How to bring it in, how to make it real for ourselves. And then from Malchut, it starts now to go back up to Ein Sof. In other words, it calls all the way down into each one of us, and then our job is now to lift it up, to see history with new eyes, to see the world with new eyes, that we live in a world much larger than most people understand, because it's a many-story building. I think I'm getting hot. Is everybody okay with it?
Okay, we'll open the window.
No, I'll just take off my coat. Yeah, you can open it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see if that works. So, being at the tail end of history, down in the Malchut itself, the first one that we usually come across, I need one too. The first one that we normally interact with is the Baal Shem Tov. He's the most exciting in terms of his teachings, and the Baal Shem Tov through the Ari and through Rabbi Nachman and through the Baal Tanya. And then some people can, everybody then starts to discover Ishbitz and discover like Rav Tzadok HaKohen and Rav Leib Eger. Wow, there's like a whole thing. Then within each one of them is a whole world. But what I'm trying to say is that from the bottom looking up, I want all of them. I don't want to choose and pick. I want to know that this is an incredibly united, unified system. The picking and the choosing, that my team is better than yours, right? That I have the teaching and you don't. I don't go there, right? I want the whole thing. Hashem, please give us your Torah. It's like a tree of many leaves. And each leaf is for like a person's, like, if you feel closer to that leaf, it's like, great, that's your entry point. And then you go from the leaf into the twig, and then from the twig into the branch, and from the branch into the larger branches, and into the trunk, and into the root system. That's where they want you to go, is every single one of us can connect into the root system of the Torah. And actually I was going down, but the truth of the tree of Torah, the tree of infiniteness, the root system is up, and the branches come down. And basically, trees, physical trees are in the ground, and their roots are in the ground, and their legs are up. Then animals are like horizontal, and mankind, we're like rooted above, and we're on the ground. So, Bezat Hashem, the idea of a unified system, and that each one of the tzaddikim represents or embodies an aspect, and within the aspect is holographic. Within that aspect you have everything. But then you see how the others say it also, and it enriches you. So with great love for each tzaddik that we should have, as the kavanot of the Breslov or Hasidim say, as me, Adam Rishon, ve'ad Mashiach, all the tzaddikim, from Adam until Mashiach, ve'ad bichlal, and including. We want connection with all of them, because we are connected to all of them. It's just to become conscious and aware. And to repeat what I said also, that we want to meet them. They're coming to our lives now. They're up there. We are the junior partners of the great tzaddikim. They have a tremendous stake in us. The Zohar says that they will begin to empower us before Mashiach comes. They will come into us. If just we become vessels for that. If we begin to become aware of how powerful the potential for each one of us is, and the coming together of all of us together, the love and the care, the concern that we should have for each other, the realness that we should have for each other. We are a family. And then the tzaddikim say, this is a good investment. I want to come in. And of course Hashem behind everything. And then actually there'll be a resurrection. And the resurrection of light bodies, of awesomeness, of Adam and Eve, of Abraham and Sarah. And we will meet them. That's what we're looking forward to. That's like the dream of Jewish history, is that when everybody will come together. Because the difference between heaven and earth is that heaven, all the generations are separate, and in heaven they're all together. That's basically the only difference. We're cut off here, we're compartmentalized. And the world seems to be what it is right now, and it isn't what it was. But in heaven it becomes revealed that it always was, it always will be. We connect it to eternity. So we can have moments of eternity now, and heaven can be on earth, right? That's what the tzaddikim give us. The souls of the tzaddikim within us to inspire us, to awaken us, to enlighten us. So everybody has these two pieces of paper now that's... Okay, so this is Likuti Maharan 1. And to say there's only two parts to Likuti Maharan. This is part 1. And this is Torah Reish Pei Bet 282. And it's a famous Torah. Everybody knows it by the name Azamra. I will sing. Azamra lelohai bi'adi. I will sing to God with the ode, with my ode. So Rabbi Nachman tells us what the ode is. And he has this incredible way of looking at things with new eyes. Of making it like that it really has to do with you and me. It has to do with all of us. One second. So just since it's in English, I will give it less time because you'll have it and you can take it with you. But the idea here is it's divided into two parts, two halves. The first half is that Rabbi Nachman says that when you look at somebody else, you have to have the right eyes. You have to be able to see them, to have to see each other with eyes of goodness. And that maybe if I have problems with my brother, let's say. And he looks at me and he says, oh God, you're so religious, you don't have any reality to you. I'm like, I can't relate to you. And we say, listen, my brother, I really love you. Like, I am who I am, okay, fine. But it doesn't mean we can't connect with each other. I see such goodness in you. And he's not giving mitzvot, and he's not doing this, and he's not doing that. And so we have to see the awesome goodness in every individual. This is not a religious trip. This is This is a deep level of what humanity is all about, of being human and seeing the humanness of the other person and having compassion. So Reb Nachman's big thing here is that if I see the point, one note, in Hebrew they're called nikudot tovot, which could be translated good points. If I see the good points in another person, I really feel it's important, and it's a subtle change at first, but it has implications, ramifications. It's points of goodness. If I see the points of goodness in the other, and then we'll see this part two is to see them in ourselves. The points of goodness because they're really points of godliness. And as we know, goodbye in English comes from good be with you. Goodbye. Good comes from God. Right? That's how the language works. God be with you gets shortened into goodbye. Yeah. Okay. So good and God is really totally connected. The points of goodness within the other person are the points of godliness. And Rabbi Nachman is going to teach us an incredible thing about this. So, let's look at it together. You see the first paragraph. Know that it is necessary to judge every person favorably, literally, in the scale of merit. Okay, so they make mistakes. I disagree with certain things they do. There's a big point on Tisha B'Av about, you don't stop liking the person. That's not for us to do. I don't like what you do. Maybe I don't agree with what you do. But you as a person, you're awesome, right? You shall love your friend as yourself. Is a directive to love the soul, to love the essence of a person. To see past the superficiality of what they're doing and where they're holding in their life right now. To see everybody's in there's an involvement here. We're evolving. The tzaddik, and that's even us, we can see that everybody's holding where they're holding, right? And like they're struggling to do what they need to do and to do it the best they can. To give them that credit that they're doing the best they can. To relate to them as a human being who's doing the best they can. Every person favorably. Even if a person is a complete sinner, you must search until you find some modicum of good, by virtue of which he is not a sinner. Okay, in modern language, it means, give him the benefit of the doubt. Give a person that the person who's maybe speaking to you the way he is at work, in the workplace, or in the yeshiva, or all the different situations that we come into in life, the cab driver, or the supermarket guy, or anybody who looks at me wrong and makes me feel like, hey, I don't like you. I don't like you because you looked at me wrong. You saw me wrong, so I'm going to see you wrong. So we have to not fall into that trap. We just see, this is a person with tremendous experience in life. We have in the workshop that I was part of for 7, 8 years, the Call of the Shofar workshop, one of the exercises that we sit facing our partner. What I'm trying to do here is that we interlock our knees so that we're really close to each other. We're facing the other person. You're really looking at the other person in their eyes. And you're seeing this person has gone through so much. They were a child. They fell. They got hurt. They got up. They went through all kinds of things. You see, when you see past the superficial, and you see into the panim, which is the face, and you see the panim, this is the inner, the eyes are the window to the soul. You see an incredible thing here, that every human being is godly. And we're looking for God all around the place, and we just have to look at the person in front of us.